Whoopsies. Boo, boo, boo. I think I just hit the live button on accident, but what up traders, what up investors, Ken here from Dyslexic Investor, and I think I just hit the live button on accident, about 3 minutes early. That sounds about right for me. Anyways, on that note, yeah. What are we going to be looking for this week? What could we look for on the potential moves? Any kind of economic data? There isn't anything like groundbreaking. The one and only earnings that's really coming off for me this week is, of course, the GameStop. So GameStop's coming out on the 23rd. This is after the market. So that's going to be one of the largest things that's going to be really on my watch list, and really seeing on how this potentially could really move. I don't know. Again, GameStop has been a crazy monster of a stock, so it's going to be something. It's been really its own kind of beast. Again, what up traders, what up investors? I know I kind of started just a hair bit earlier, but yeah, Ben, what's up, my friend? Oliver, yeah, Tesla to 7,000. Yeah, Kathy Wood has a very interesting way on pricing stocks and just giving those estimations. Again, they are projections, so they can be skewed in either direction, just to be completely aware of. I would love to see Tesla at 7,000. Do not get me wrong, but yeah, that's a very far out analysis that I just cannot comprehend this little ape brain that we're looking at here. Ben, thanks for the thumbs up, my friend. Josh is asking for technical analysis on MU ? Can we get a please there, my friend? Yeah, so MU, a nice little stock here. This has been, with this whole chip shortage and everything and all the semiconductors, this beautiful chart here has been holding pretty steady here between the 21 and 34 EMA. Kind of potentially, we can maybe call this in the short term, doing air quotes, a double top here around 95. But it is coming back into support. So some support around 88.75 to around 87.25. So those are potential levels that I would like to see potentially go for support. Be mindful, we do have earnings for them on the 31st. So towards the tail end of the month is where we're going to be seeing earnings coming out for them. So be very well aware of that. So that is within its like less than 2-week time horizon. So I'm a little careful around those time frames when trading options, and really kind of, even if I'm looking to build stock into it, you have to be very mindful about those two levels. But that being said, we can kind of look at what the earnings expirations for the month is basically $9. So $9 was personally sitting in here. That $100 level is going to be very keen to potentially see hit that level. But like we just talked about, that $95 level is going to be that level to try to get it to break through that. That's the line in the sand, the resistance on the way up there. But we do have some pretty standard support here on that previous downward move around $87 to even $86. So yeah, that's what I would say. Again, I wouldn't want to touch this because of earnings though. NIO, do you have any idea? Up, down, sideways, thanks a lot. Love your videos. NIO, yeah, we talked just about it. Someone just posted NIO in the Discord if you haven't joined that one. NIO, yeah. So as of right now, the trend for me is somewhat broken. It just chopped for me, honestly. There is no really kind of pattern here. We broke past the 50-day, which is the red line here. We broke past the 89. That's that blue solid baby blue line there. We have kind of bounced off the 200 EMA here, which is around that $35 price target. And now we're just kind of meandering around, kind of bouncing around. So nothing to really write home about. It just had earnings. It kind of flopped on that, a really aggressive downward move again with the SPACs and the growth stocks. And of course, the NASDAQ substantially pulling back in the last couple of weeks has really kind of hurt this stock as well. That being said, we can easily see the $40 level potentially hold in the short term. So between 40 and 45 is going to be basically the box of seeing it where if or can it break out between to the upside or the downside. To the upside, we would love to see this back above 46 and really make its way up to 50 again. The downward side is basically looking for that 40 support to 35. We do have the parabolic SAR dots kind of coming in here. Momentum has switched from red to yellow. That's a good sign. Volumes on oscillator still a negative, and the RSI is not showing the world's greatest strength there. So that's what we're going to be looking for to potentially, again, it's just kind of meandering. That's more of the shorter term analysis. If you want to look here on the weekly side, it's very much beat down here. We're looking for that initial support around $38 to $40 to kind of hold there on the weekly side. I've been watching NNOX this week. Awaiting approval for imaging devices should be big for them. NNOX. Yeah, so that it's going to be, again, that's very much, sensitive to time, and then also news related. So unless you know when the article is going to come out or when the FDA is going to give the thumbs up or whatever, it's going to be very slightly difficult to see on how that performs, unless you have a very understanding of the business. But this is a super choppy stock here. Huge runs up, then comes back down. Huge runs up and comes down. Huge runs to come down. But this is, again, a little bit. I guess it could be like almost the same kind of premise of like the news-driven stuff. That $50 range has been some levels to potentially see here. Again, a lot of these imaging stuff, I think, was this one of like Kathy Wood stocks? It seems familiar. Really kind of came down here, really broke past that 200 EMA around $41. This is one that it sounds like Kathy Wood has talked about, but she talks about a lot of things, and a lot of people just buy. As of right now, it's still somewhat beaten up for me, but it is hitting a pretty significant level around that $50 range, though. So, Ben, it sounds like you've done a lot more due diligence as well. Thanks for your answer. Also, I'm sorry to bother you, but what's your outlook on the market? Should we start moving to secular stocks or double down on the dip on the NASDAQ and growth stocks? Honestly, Jonathan, sorry. Ken, thoughts on SOS, please, and thank you, sir. Let me do that one. Sorry, I just missed that on the chat. So SOS. Yeah, SOS I've seen come up quite a bit here. This is the Chinese, financial company. The trend is okay. I don't know the fundamental story behind it. It is kind of potentially starting to set up, showing maybe some support around $7. So $7 in the short term, we could see kind of hold here. So if SOS can hold here above the 21 and 34, because you've seen that even with the market kind of moving crazy and as it has how it hasn't really affected SOS as substantially as you thought it would. Volume zone oscillators above zero. We have the RSI just kind of meandering around 50. And I might want to take a stab at this one, Jonathan, honestly. Support at 7, potentially looking for a breakout above $9 to $10. Again, I don't know too much about the company. Sounds like you know a little bit more than I do, but that's worth a stab, if you know what I mean, on a couple shares. Does it trade options? Probably not, does it? Oh, it does. Oh, whoa, look at that. I would need to go out to at least May or June for those options. So potentially, those are juicy. Those are some juicy Lucy's. The 750 option looks really nice here. I might have to take a swing at this one, my friend. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. So thoughts on the market. I think with inflation or I don't know, like it's very difficult for me right now. As the NASDAQ, I haven't put too much capital to work. Even I've bought some stuff on the dip, like with Costco and things like that on like longer term positions. But with like trading right now, I'm just kind of selling some premium by selling puts and calls and just kind of meandering around with that and just kind of playing in that sense. But with the market, it's just been kind of sideways. I think the end of this month into the early stages of April we'll see if the Nasdaq has the strength to come back. Because if we just look at the QQQ, it is bouncing off the 89 EMA, so it's telling a pretty good story there. It's starting to winding back up with the volume zone oscillator and RSI. A 1-day squeeze. We really just need to see some more positive data. The reopening plays potentially moving. I honestly believe some of the reopening plays have moved a little bit too much, so those can even come back a little bit. But yeah, I'm not going to be just going out Monday or even next week or the following week just throwing all my capital into the fire right now. But I like to play it really safe, to be quite honest, and I'm very, very selective. Rich of All Trades says thoughts on FRX, please, and thank you for using manners. Forest Road Acquisition. Did I write this FRX? What is this? This is SPAC, clearly, right? Yeah, I don't. There's nothing really can say here. It looks like it had some kind of news. All right, probably some kind of the deal was announced, right? And then kind of came aggressively back down because everyone wanted to sell everything they had in SPACs and just kind of forget about it. Or I don't know the story what's going on here. The chart's telling a story of like people loved it, but then they fled that like a bat out of hell, and it just continued going lower, back down to the potential its SPAC price unless it didn't get the proper announcements it should have. We'll need to look into the company itself for that one. Can you check out XOM or other energy stocks? Digital cable, yeah, I like some of the energy stocks. Again, NRG is one that has really kind of gone against me, and a couple other ones that I've been playing. Again, these came back pretty aggressively last week. They sold off the last 3 or 4 days. This is kind of coming down to initial support here. You see the previous trend has been fairly healthy here. So if we can stay above $55 to even, we could touch intraday down to 52 and the trend will still be fine. But if we start seeing some more damage being done, meaning we start closing below the 34 EMA, which is below that $55 level, and start seeing the 5 and 8 cross through the 21 or the 34, that could be some onslaught of just chop, chop, chop. So be very mindful about that. MO, please. Thank you for saying please. Yeah, this, I think we talked about this one last week. Wow, this one has just been continue to grind higher here, hitting that $50 range as of last week, making an all-time high on Friday as well. So that's not many stocks can say they made an all-time high on Friday. This trend a little bit aggressive here as of right now. We're kind of bumping with the higher level of RSI, but the volumes and oscillator really took a poopsies here with again, a lot of people, looks like a lot of volume kind of came in here. Don't know what the story on this one is as well, but that is a lot of volume on a single day here. Because again, if we go to the volume metric here, look at how much volume came in here. We're talking about 37 million shares were traded that day. The average last 21 days has been 10, so 3 times the extension, or the 3 times the normal volume, and that is really quite a heavy stock there. Movement here, and seeing that really aggressively punch into that $50 range. So that $50 range is coming into that previous move down. We're looking here on the weekly chart. I actually want to maybe pull this out just a little bit more to like this range here. So yeah, that basically that $51 to $50 range is going to be the first level, and even potentially coming up that $52 range could be some potential level of resistance. And that's also coming into the 200 EMA on the weekly chart. So yeah. I like Embalm. Yeah, is that David S has talked about that one. That's EBON. Better company makes and sells Bitcoin miners, and now, like, people actually still buy Bitcoin miners? I thought it was like so obsolete and not energy efficient. Yeah, this is a very choppy one though. It's having a little bit of problems getting above like that 1250 there, but it has been bouncing around quite a bit here. It looks like it has some potential earnings coming out. Again, with these stocks, you gotta be very careful because they're pretty aggressive moves and they're probably heavily tied to the price of Bitcoin. It looks like the Bitcoin's down about 4%. So, wowzers. Kathy likes NNDM Nano Dimensions. Okay, so they're in the same realm there, Ben. Yeah, Anna DM has. She's trying to come back. Hit off the 144 EMA, trying to bounce higher. It's having a little bit of trouble kind of closing and staying above 1125 for NNDM. That's what we're really looking at here. And it's just that 1125 is just right below the 200 or the 50 SMA. Daniel, good evening, Ken. How are you doing, bro? I'm doing very well. I did a lot of yard work in the beautiful weather outside today, and yeah, I'm out of shape. MJ, evening to you as well, my friend. GT saying the number one SPAC at the moment I like is GHVI. What is that one? Do they have anything on here? Just a bunch of company for the. Okay, so they haven't announced anything. What have they bought? Matterport? I don't know what Matterport is. Am I safe to Google that? This is Matterport? Wow. You can label things in 3D space? So this would be perfect for like homes and car shows and stuff? Interesting. Yeah, this looks very similar to what they did in my house. Like this little system they set up on a tripod and you go somewhere, you just hit the button, just get as like the spinning thing and it really kind of collects there. Interesting. You're welcome, Digital Cable. Could you check out Leaf? Yar. Leaf Group Ltd. Never heard of this one as well. I'm not seeing anything come up on my analysis here. Let's see. Formerly Demand Media, diverse internet marketplace and media company. The company has an online media properties and marketplace platforms that enables communities of creators to reach audience in their lifestyle categories. Okay, that's interesting. Um, Stock finally looks like it's breaking above that 750 here, so that's a good sign on that one. Daniel. Um, Looks like I had a couple earnings here. Again, I'm not sure how this one reacted to all those, the sense of that. Okay, the weekly chart tells a little bit of a better level here. Let me do a fib here for you, my friend. Yeah, look at that. That's 618, which is a key Fibonacci number from this is on the weekly chart. From the swing high to swing low, that's 784 is a level that we need to see and break above. If we can break above and stay above 784, we're looking for 989 to $10 there, my friend. Potentially, if the news can continue going well, because again, it made an all-time high on Friday, so it must be doing something right. Big name chip companies that took Elon out of mind as legit. Frank White is asking for the triple M. 3M company, of course, this is going to be a very much like a transition into like the cyclical play. Um, this thing has been doing next to nothing for quite some time here. It's been very beaten down here. I'm going to kind of pull this one on the longer term time frame for you, Frank, here. From the swing high, so we're going back all the way to basically 3 years ago, to the low that we saw, of course, during the pandemic, and we're kind of coming into some pretty key levels. We have broken above $180. So that was a very key level. We're hitting the 200 EMA here on the weekly chart. We do have a squeeze, and RSI and the Chaikin money flow are just, the Chaikin money flow is trying to get off the ground here, but RSI has been drinking his Gatorade, and it is ready to run, and that is potentially trying to look for that 200 to 198 to potentially hit there. To the downside, we're going to really going to be chopping into that 180 price target. So again, that 180 kind of falls into the parabolic SAR dots and the 34 EMA on the daily chart. Steven says, I've been slowly scalping into IDX. Yeah, this is always one that has a very unique movement. It has like these huge bursts of energy and then does nothing. Huge bursts of energy and then does nothing, and then huge ramp up and then comes right back down. But it didn't come back down as low as it was before it ramped up. So that's always a good sign. Initially speaking here, we do have some short-term support around $2.90 to $2.77. A breakout level would try to get back above 350 and above to try to test that $4 range. Heads up, we do have earnings coming out on the 31st, so keep a very keen eye on that. We could potentially get an earnings run, try to break in, try to get that momentum running into earnings. But with earnings, my opinion on that one, Steven, if you haven't seen already, is basically it's a coin flip going to earnings, and I don't like to hold options, especially shorter dated stuff, into earnings. Rodriguez says, what do you think about the weeks going? Yeah, the Fed is definitely going to be in sight with inflation and how the bond market's trying to move things around. But I think it's kind of a lot of noise. I think it's just continuous chop. Of course, with GME, that has been a completely amazing story that's going on there, and just the amount of people that are still holding this. I'm honestly quite impressed. I am very much impressed that such a large group of people were able to band together and still continue to hold here. So yeah, GME, that's gonna be a fun one to watch on that earnings. We're gonna have to have a party for that one. I would love to see how that conference call goes. Would be very exciting. Meet Kevin has the fancy Matterport. Good for him. Congrats. Any thoughts on FCell, Tel, and Target? Yeah, let's just do a couple of those. So FCell is, of course, one that has had earnings last week. Again, a little choppy here, coming down to a little bit of the short-term support around the 89, so around 1444, 1450. It kind of slowly settled above that. Still a little bit beaten down. It has been taking on water here. We're going to be looking for this to try to get these moving averages starting to curl sideways and start curling in level here, or more or less parallel with the charts here. If we don't, we can easily see a break below 1364 to even maybe test back down to 12. We really would like to see it if the strength and the bulls can come in here to kind of get it back up to $17.17 to $18. Playboy to the moon with it being a reopening and lifestyle brand company. Yeah, they're gonna sell a Hello Kitty amount of flip flops on the beach of Playboy stuff. Yeah. Oh boy, look at this one. Yikers, yikers, yikers. Nice move there. Making an all-time high, coming in GT, man, you called this one. You called this one and Build a Bear. What a play. What a play. What a play. Nice. So what we're looking for, we passed $18 basically already. Next level is going to be 20. 20 bucks. And that can really get going. We're looking for 25. And that's going to be some just in the shorter dated stuff on the fibs there. Robert says, can you cover girls soon? I think they have a ton of potential as they are expanding the franchises and revenue streams. The kiosks are comprised of 14 core meals and 9 meal items. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, that seems pretty interesting. I like this head did come up quite a bit on the last stream that we had. Just was it last week or a couple days ago? A lot of people were asking about this one. Again, yeah, it could be a reopening play and so forth. I don't know too much about the company. I just kind of read a little quick description here. But on the short term, let's just do a quick fib here. So it has been very choppy here on explosive news. It looks like it has potential earnings coming out towards the end of the month, not confirmed 100% yet. With that, again, showing some resistance around the 230-ish range. But if this can really run, we're seeing it kind of fail here around 330 and not really get past above that. So we're going to be looking for that 330 to potentially be like a very significant breakout there. Thoughts on ARK's Tesla 3K in 5 years? Oh, Tesla, Kathy would. Again, I would love them. I would love Tesla to be 3K in 5 years. Would love it. Tesla, as of right now, has been a little bit damaged here and it's taking on some water here. We're below the 50. We're actually below the 89 EMA, so there's nothing to really write home about. If you're a trend trader, you're not really liking this. If you're more of a bottom fisher and trying to catch, value is the wrong word, but if you're just trying to catch a potential bid higher, that maybe could happen. We are having a pretty significant 3-day squeeze here, so those are fairly powerful within Tesla. So if Tesla does rip higher here, we're going to be looking for that price target to really get back above 700, 715 to even 750 would be some initial levels to kind of get it back healthy again and get it back on the horse, lack of better words, and get it back up and running there. But yeah, the 5-year plan, I don't have to scoff at it. I really hope it all works out like that. Again, it's so difficult to plan out 5 years. Even as a company, there's so many curveballs that can be tossed at you. It's always good to have some set of plans, but yeah, that's just my opinion on that. Kumar, what's up, my friend? SQ 260 April first calls. You like the short dated stuff, my man. SQ, yeah, Square. It bounced off here the 89 EMA twice now. So that is going to be coming for the initial short dated support. So 221 is where we're going to be looking for that level there. Let me see. Where is it going? Hold on. Let's see here. I want to make sure I'm loading up the right program here. Where'd it go? Go on the screen. 1 second. I'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to open up Tasty real fast. And, of course, it opened up on the wrong screen. Oh, come on now. There we go. Okay, here we go. Main screen, bada bing, bada bang. All right, so SQ. So, Kumar, I'm just going to talk strictly on the probabilities of here. So you're saying April 1st contract. So it's 11 days out. You're doing 260. Not saying you can't make money. The probability of profit or it being in the money is 7%. The probability of making 50% 50% of your 50% of the debit back is 27%. The delta is only 11%, so that's basically the potential of it being in the money, and the theta is at 17.44. So we really need SQ to really substantially move in the next week. Because if it doesn't, that theta will just tear into SQ's back hiney as like a tiger or lion attacking a gazelle in the Sahara, not the Sahara Desert, in the Amazon, not even the Amazon. Oh my gosh, the flatlands of Africa, and just tear it down and bring it to the ground. Because if that option does not get any kind of movement, which again, I'm not saying it can't, it needs to bounce off pretty hard that 220-ish level here, and really get back above that 370 to 350 range. Because again, Square has been a little bit on the choppy side. Even though I think it's a pretty good reopening play, I just think they maybe put too much emphasis on the Bitcoin. And as I look right now, Bitcoin's down nearly 4%. So I don't know on how much they're truly linked between that. Okay, here's a. Hold on. Oh, my chat just updated. Kev T, what's up, my friend? I added CCL and PLTR for my long-term plays. Yeah, I love me some PLTR. Sophia says, "Hey Ken, I hope you had a nice weekend. It was a beautiful day. Can you please cover GEVO? Thank you so much, and what to do for us. You're welcome." GEVO. You had earnings last week. Pretty strong move coming into Friday here. Not like an all-time high, but it is kind of trying to move itself higher here. Again, what is, I always forget this stock. Jet Fuel Gas Company. Yeah, okay, this is the Jet Fuel Gas Company. Okay, trying to be more environmentally friendly. Love it. Fantastic. Look at this. Key level $9.80. We're above that. If we can get any kind of movement into this week, some more positive news. As of right now, the momentums went from red to yellow. That's good. The RSI has been peaked. We're getting out of, I don't know if people can see this. We're getting the volume zone oscillator breaking above zero. So that's always a good sign. So kind of give you a parameter on how that works. So once it kind of pops out of zero, it doesn't take a complete effect right away. It takes a couple days here. So it usually can take, depending what chart you're looking at here, we're looking at the daily chart, so it could take 2 days. So if we get that pop up higher on volume zone oscillator, that you could potentially see this reach to 1234 in 2 or 3 days potentially, if we can get that, if the overall tech sector gets really happy and gets behind the energy stuff here. Can you check out CULR? CULR? You guys are throwing some curveballs at me. Nothing really I can much say here, Daniel. This is just just choppy here, and there's no real trend here. It has a very short-dated trend here for just the month of February into the, of course, March here, and it's holding the 21 EMA. So some short-term support just going to be coming into that 21 EMA as we look at here. Facebook has a nice last week. Yeah, holy moly guacamole. Facebook did something last week. I don't know. They're ready to break out here, trying to here. That 290 range, we talked about this one last week, actually. If it broke above that 275. Now we're seeing it trying to break above 290 here. So a break of 290 would be trying to put it, again, that's a pretty aggressive move here. We're not crazy here on the RSI reading or the volume zone oscillator, but we are potentially looking for like, hey, it's runned a little bit here. Just be very careful on how you play this. So initially looking for some support coming around 277 in the short term, but it can come all the way down to 268 though, at that really strong resistance we've seen for multiple months. The breakout zone and really trying to get to all-time highs is of course that 304. If that trend can continue and break above 304, I think we're looking for 350 on the weekly chart. So again, this chart is pretty much setting here very nicely on the weekly chart. So let me help you highlight this here to kind of see what I see in my my brain here. So you see this box here. This has been just kind of capitulating since like October of last year and just kind of doing next to nothing here. Like a lot of stocks, like of course you're talking about Nvidia and so forth, and just hasn't really done much of anything. It has broken past the box, but it's kind of coming right back into the box. If we break past this box, which again is that $300 range of 305, that's going to be putting it into a whole different universe and potentially trying to get to that 350 range. Even though I'm not a big fan of Facebook. Omar, what's up, my friend? Long time. What's are some good stocks to sell puts on with AK Capital? So, Omar, you don't have to sell straight puts. You can just sell put credit spreads, and any stock that you really like, that is like that has options that are liquid that are 45 days out, and you can buy anywhere around the 30 to 40 delta. So I kind of like Apple to sell some premium in that. So what you can look at for Apple, of course, is selling potentially the 115. That's a little bit too close potentially. Yeah, it is a little too close. So like the May's a little too far out. So the I don't know how these liquid these are. They're not too liquid here. But selling potentially the expected move's $12. So that's a lot of room. So you can sell like the 210 and then buy the 105s here and get a little bit of premium there. So let's see on how that looks on Apple. And it does have earnings coming out the end of April though, so be mindful about that. So we can just, that's why the options are pretty tight there. So what you can do is again, Tastyworks does a fantastic job on highlighting the expected move, which is in the orange there. So we're looking for potentially like selling the 110 and then buying the 105. So that creates a spread here. So your max loss, of course, is 410. Your max potential profit is 90 cents. That's what the credit that you're getting. And of course, your probability of profit is 75%. So of course, that's what I like to see, those higher probability of profits. That's why I love selling put credit spreads. You can do $5 wide, you can do $2 wide, you can do $10 wide. You can go as wide as you want though. Yeah, sell puts on Tesla. That's always a good one too. But get rid that Tesla does a little more volatile than some other stocks. To the moon. You flip bullish on PLTR after the AWS IBM. Yeah, PLTR. I got to thank Alpaca for getting me into that one. PLTR, I adore the stock. I don't not emotionally adore it. If it breaks my rules, I have to cut it. That's the most important thing there as well. If a stock breaks your rules, you got to get out and just say hasta la vista, baby. See you next week if I can buy back in or not. That being said, 2269 is going to be some short-term support, and I really would love to see it stay and break above 27 though. It's been very choppy here in the last coming weeks. Frank says thoughts on DraftKings April 30 100 call. Yeah, D King. I actually got something in the mail for them. They're like, hey, or whatever, homeowner or resident of this location or whatever, you want to gamble? I said no, thank you, DraftKings. I didn't know you can even do that in Virginia, honestly. Anywho, so $72 is a level to really see it break out. If we can get any kind of, again, this is a pretty large reopening play. If we get those stadiums filled back up and so forth, those more and more people are going to be wanting to do this, I believe. And a lot of people just got their stimulus checks. So that's something to be to look at as well. So that's $72 basically. That breaks out April 30-ish. That's not crazy far away, but it's far away enough that you could maybe get a move. It's 40 days. The expected move for that time frame is only $13, so you're really buying something that's pretty deep out of the money there. You really need to see that kind of come into fruition, because if you buy that, it's got a 10 delta, so it's very not much tied to the stock. The stock has to move fairly aggressively, and at the same time, you got a pretty high theta. So that wouldn't be my favorite cup of tea. Maybe if you have the capital, like if you really like the stock and you really want to go for it, oh yeah, it doesn't make much sense. The $100 leap would be something more in tune that I would like potentially, but that's almost $8 or $9. That's 10 times of much it looks like you wanted to spend in the first place. We're going off the cliff, or we're going back to business as usual. Mr. Bear is hibernating. Exactly, alpaca. We tricked Bear. We put him on a trail in the Appalachia Trail, and now everything's gonna go back to normal. Everything's gonna go fantastic. So I hope things would go back to normal. In the sense of I don't know what normal means for people. I just like the Nasdaq to get back above the 21 and the 50-day SMA. So that's what of course, the Nasdaq is what I follow more than I do with the S&P. I normally just follow the Russell and then the Nasdaq. The S&P is more like a whole overall market. As you can see, this overall market has been somewhat shifty here. We're seeing, of course, the energy and the reopening plays being outperforming the technology in the last month or so. But with the QQQ, would love to see it back above 320 to 325 to really see that trend kind of get back to normal. Can we do a video on yeah, maybe. I have to read more about it, honestly. Makeshift, I want the QQQ to go positive, yes. Wesley, what's up, my friend? IPOE, yes. Love what's the CEO's name? Oh shoot, I feel embarrassed. This one I really do like. I think it's definitely a disruptor. This is a longer term hold for me. So it's a little bit more choppy and a more resilience to the chop. Initially speaking, we're looking for some initial support around $17. If that don't hold, we're going to be saying hello to $15.50. But we are needing to see it break above $19.18 to basically that $20 range to really get any kind of movement. If I remember right, Wesley, they are trying to close a deal at the end of this month, right? That's what I remember hearing, but I don't know if that has changed due to other underlying circumstances. Please check out SSPX Weed Maps Tech plus MG Play. What? Really? That's hilarious. SSPK? Okay, that's really okay. So it tells where people are growing and you just rob them? How does that work? I'm joking. I'm not that stupid. Um, yeah, kind of choppy. It looks very much like the other charts we just looked at. That this kind of been somewhat out of favor. Like you had some paper hands kind of give up money here. 89 the 89 EMA, which is this blue line here, looking for some short-term hold, and again a move higher to around 21 to 22 would be initial kind of getting back into the swing of the overall trade there. Chris is asking for his wife HSP. I'll rather appreciate your input. No problem. Let's take a look. I've never heard of HST though. Host hotels and hotels and resorts.com. Okay. 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 Right. Self-managed, self-advertised real estate investment REIT. Okay, it's a REIT. Gotcha. It's a REIT that doesn't pay a dividend? Oh, okay. It looks like they stopped the dividend. Well, I think if they reinstate that dividend, there might be some happy campers, if you know what I'm saying. Um, Pretty much it's gonna be like a more of a fundamental story here, but it broke above 17-ish range, which was that 200 EMA on the weekly chart. If we can get any kind of more positive movement again, these reopening plays have been very much gangbusters moves here. Short-term support, if it does pull back, is kind of where it sits around 1750, but it can easily pull back to 1689. That would be totally fine, even 1622. But the trend is still trying to kick higher, so 1930 to $20 could be reached quite easily. What's the goal on put credit spreads, Omar? Uh, so Omar, the put credit spread, you just want the stock. So for example, if I had a put credit spread in Amazon, which I do, and I think I bought it at 1,000 or 3,000. I want this. I bought the 3,000. I sold the 3,000, and I bought like a $10 wide one. So I want the stock to stay above $3,000. So if you sell a put, you basically want the stock to stay above that strike price. You don't want it to come down to that price. It's a very conservative bullish play. Kevin, you think? Well, my name's Ken, but it's okay. Um, I have my name down here. Just joking with my bud. Do you think we're gonna be up or down this week? I don't predict the market, my friend. I'm a passenger of the market. I want the Nasdaq to be, of course, positive for the week. I would love to see the Nasdaq back above some levels here. We can kind of look again the QQQ to kind of give a better potential, not four Qs. In the market move. So the market move for this week is going to be looking for around $10 in the Nasdaq. And what is $10 we're currently sitting at? That would be around back above the 50 SMA. So the 50 SMA is going to be a very key level to potentially see if we can get it back above that 320-ish level there. Yeah, makeshift. I don't gamble. I really don't. I don't. I don't know sports in the first place, so I have no idea what I'm doing. um, I like things from Japan. You're okay. No problem. I've been called worse things than Kevin. Just joking. Just playing with you, my friend. Um, R2D2 is looking for Adobe and Lululemon, please, and thanks, and a nice smiley face. Okie dokie. Let's take a look at what has Adobe been doing. Like, I love the software, fantastic stuff. Hi caramba, that is a ugly looking stock there. What is that? That is terrible looking. That is disappointing. That is disappointing looking stock there. But if you're a little bit longer term investor, I think this could be interesting. Let me look on the weekly side. Yes. Yes. It's coming down to the 55 EMA on the weekly chart. Interesting. This thing has been beat up. This thing has literally gone 12 rounds. Wow. That's super interesting. Yeah. It's got earnings coming out too on the 23rd this week. Very careful with that one, R2D2. Um, I consider Adobe a reopening play as well, but the expected move for this week is $26. We could potentially see it back to 420 to 410. in that move. So 410 to around 400 would be your initial levels of support if the earnings does not go well and it goes within the expected move. And to the upside, would see it back above the 465 plus if the earnings goes well or the week continues to run higher here. But this thing has been, wow, I didn't know Adobe has been such a dog here lately. Wow. God bless them. I hope they do well. I know they're doing well while the stocks has been hammered. Same with Lulu. Wow, look at this. Doesn't that look like the same pattern, R2D2? That is almost the exact same pattern here. Lulu's been a little bit more on the tear here. Has Lulu considered more of like not a reopening play, a stay-at-home play with the comfort close and everything? Yeah, with earnings as well on the 30th. Okay, so just come around the corner. Yeah, very beaten up down in the short-term support around 300, but that move back up to 332 would be pretty nice to the upside though. What you drinking tonight, Ken? I'm drinking a San Pellegrino Essentials, tangerine and wild strawberries. Again, bought it from Costco. And Costco, you're listening. Go for it. Makeshift, yeah. Be very careful on what people say on buy the dip. I know you know it better, but some people are just like, what does it mean to buy the dip? If it's a red day, do I just buy? Like, you gotta be pretty strategic, somewhat about doing that. And I do. You have to understand. I did that video on market manipulation, and a lot of people actually comment said, "Does that really happen?" I'm like, "Hell yeah, it does!" Like, the people want to make money in this market. Of course, the hedge funds, they are under a microscope to make money, and they're gonna do anything they can to make money. They don't. There is no. Uh, the, there are some people with morals in this business, but there's a lot that don't have the morals. As you can see, the Wolf of Wall Street and all that stuff. Like, let's be honest. I bought NIO at 42.48 and trying to get CCIV at 26. Should I load up fast? No, I don't like. I never like to hear the word say load up fast. You have to trade your plan, my friend. That meaning is like, okay, not saying CCIV can't be $100 next week. Who knows what can happen if they come out and like Tesla's like, we're gonna acquire CCIV for 90 billion, like 3 times their market cap or whatever it is. Yes, sure. I don't like to say the load up fast because that means like that adds FOMO to it. And I don't like to add FOMO to the trading stuff. I don't like it. It's just not a good thing. So be very careful with that. CCIV really needs to stay above 30 to get any kind of movement going. Again, I don't know what the catalysts are. I think the deal has already been closed, right? So yeah. Yeah, NIO is definitely the Chinese. The Chinese. Well, I think they paid back their loan, right? That's what they said. That's what I heard. Like the Chinese government gave them a loan, like a $1 billion loan or something like that. NIO, this one can easily come back. Though, but that being said, there's just other things I would rather put my time into. PG, Procter Gamble, is it bottoming? Maybe that 125 to 126 that could be. It's been a little bit softer here on the weekly chart. Yeah, I can kind of see here around that 125 to 126, potentially kind of bottoming here. If we do get that move higher, would like to see it back above 130. That would be a nice little move there. But yeah, very much a boring kind of stock, but it's a stock. It's a stock, and it makes money, and it pays a wonderful dividend. So can't hate it for that, right? SNDL, what does the crowd think? Yeah, SNDL. Yeah. So what happened with the like? I never understand. Like sometimes the earnings does not populate on Thinkorswim. Not the biggest thing here for earnings, but yeah, this is a damn. Let's be honest, it's a growing market. I don't know exactly on the influence and the TAM or the total addressable market that SNDL's growers fit into. But a breakout above 175 to $2, this thing could definitely run. Again, we've seen that huge momentum build up here again. But just remember, we got GameStop this week, ladies and gentlemen. So I think a lot of people are going to be potentially saving their dry powder for that instance there. Roland one, what's up, my friend? How you been? You're asking for AI. Yeah, AI. Yeah, very much is continuously a downtrend. Like the last time you asked about it. This one is definitely kind of just hindering here. Just continue to bleed here. The 5 and 8 moving averages have not stopped at these levels here. We can kind of potentially look at some fib movement here. If we can see this continue going lower here, we could see this maybe hit $60-ish. That's going to be a pretty significant fib coming through on the extensions here, but that's not promised, and it's very difficult. Rather just kind of see the trend kind of slow down before looking for some price targets down below. Fish, what's up, my friend? You're asking for gold. Gold. I like gold. So gold's supposed to be in an inflation play, right? So that's what I was taught, and that's what I always read. Like, okay, so if people are worried about inflation happening, what do they go? They buy gold. I haven't seen any of the gold stocks really kind of come through here on this inflation kind of story here. I've seen Bitcoin go through the roof. So is Bitcoin considered the new gold? I don't know. Like I think that's something that we'll probably find out in 5 years from now, and we'll be like, we'll look back and be like, I remember that gold was no longer the inflation hedge. It's the Bitcoin. So kind of playing on that note, but gold. What can I say here? Still kind of a downward trend, not really kind of going much of anything. We can kind of look at the futures market for gold. Same kind of pattern here. Not really kind of, it's maybe trying to bounce here a little bit, but it's nothing like too significant here. And seeing it bounce here. So let me go back to gold. All right. I like to use GLD actually. It's my favorite. I haven't looked at it forever. It's kind of bouncing here. If it can hold here around 160 to 162, that could maybe be a potential hold. But if that breaks, like we've seen it hold for a little bit, then it kind of significantly breaks because we're below the 200 EMA. Like this thing, this trend is just completely terrible in my views, honestly, Fish. If you're buying it for the long term, sure, maybe. But we've seen a pretty substantial run in gold in the last like year and a half, basically from if you're looking at GLD stock from 120 all the way up to nearly 195. So that's a pretty significant move in gold here. MMEDF. I want that one to be added so I can buy more shares of it via Thinkorswim or Tastyworks. Yeah, this one, yeah, This one's just kind of coming down to some initial support, 273 to 275. If that can hold there, would love to see it bounce back above $3 to 330. But if that 89 EMA does not hold, we're going to say hello to basically 228 to 215 to the downside. Racer X, what's up, my friend? Long time no see. HITI sells weed. They don't grow it themselves. In my opinion, it's a safer weed play. They don't grow their own weed, so they rent out the space. It's not loading for me. Is this a Canadian stock? GT saying NFTs is an yeah. That I honestly somewhat agree with you. The NFTs, I didn't know that the guy I used to follow, like, have you seen the guy who sold the 89? It's like his name's Matt. I remember watching him way back when on like a live stream. And it was insane. Some of the videos or some of the renders he did on some stuff, it was like honestly a little scary on his thoughts and his brain, and putting it on the screen here, it was pretty insane. Like he was doing, like, of course, a lot of Trump stuff and Kim Jong Il, and he was, what else was he doing? It is insane. And stuff was selling like gangbusters. It was like for hundreds of thousands of dollars. Like, good for him, right? Oh, HITTF. Okay. HITIF. Ah, okay. Wow. Okay, so it's a penny stock, so it's not my favorite cup of tea there, Racer X. But you could trade it, right? So the trend, it looks pretty good in the short term. So the 21 to 34 EMA, so looking for around that 60 cents to hold in the short term to potentially run up to above 75 cents there. That would be what I'll be looking for. Unless you're longer term investing and it has kind of just started to kind of take off here. Apple, let's see, Apple, have an Apple. This one as well. Again, I love me some apples, but kind of been beaten down here a little bit more than the other tech stocks. Excuse me. I should have made coffee rather than drinking my mineral water. So the 144 EMA is what we're going to be potentially looking at here. So the 144 EMA is kind of coming in around that 120. So the 120 range is pretty significant to see if Apple can hold here. That's also where the parabolic SAR dots are kind of coming into. I actually need to change the colors here to kind of make this. You know what I need to do real fast? I'm going to... I might need a change here, ladies and gentlemen. Please stay tuned. Let me see what this looks like. It looks too washy, right? White. Ooh, no. Black. No. No. Come on, man. No. No. That's crappy. I kind of like that. That makes it a little bit better. Let me see how that looks. Yeah, it looks kind of washed out. Let's see here. Shoot. I need a good color here, guys. I need a good color. I need to make it a little bit more poppy here for me. Oh, this is terrible. I'm messing it up now. Holy crap. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, there we go. I kind of like the new crosshair, though. I'm going to make it... I'm going to make it orangey. There we go. Look at that. Boom, 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 boom. Put them down. Boom, headshot. Anyways. But sorry, I got sidetracked there as normally as I do. Let's see here. Let's Tyrone's for G-Nog. G-Nog. Let's see. I haven't heard that one for a minute. G-Nog. Okay, she's coming back. She's trying to come back here. What? I can do the. Oh, that's disgusting looking. Oh, that's disgusting. Hold on. What color? Hold up. Hold up. What the that is no. No. I don't want that orange crap coming through here. Does it do blue now? Okay, whatever. We're gonna stick with it. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I'm getting totally sidetracked. G-Nog's got earnings coming out the 23rd, so be mindful about that. We're looking for this one to potentially. They don't have weekly options. No, they don't. No weekly options to kind of see on how this one plays out. At that present moment here, this thing has been very much aggressively on a downward trend. Even if we just take the fibs away here, it is trying to get back above the 50, which is around that 17, it's basically $18 range. If we can kind of see it get back up and get some movement to that range there, which again, with earnings coming out, I'm a little hesitant in kind of the flipping of the coin there and seeing how that one plays out. Initially speaking here, it is trying to break out and move higher here because it has gotten back above the 200 EMA, which is above basically $16, and we start seeing the 5 and 8 initially kind of break above here. I think this is more of like a reopening casino or like online betting play, right? How about EXROF? What does this company do? Not loading. But this thing has been beaten down quite a bit here. I'm gonna guess something happened here, maybe earnings or something, really made it go from basically $4.30 all the way down to $12, and maybe get a little bit of a short-term bounce here, holding and staying above that 287, which is 144 EMA. It's kind of still trending lower here a little bit, maybe trying to consolidate here and seeing it kind of recover at these ranges here, but with some short-term support around 283 there. I got 5K. Should I buy Tesla call or puts for this week? I would not say put 5K into one stock, my friend. That's the wrong question to ask, to be quite honest. That's not how I trade. I'm more what's the word? People hate that word, but diversified. Any things on SLGG? It's riding GME. Roma's had a great week last week. Super League Gaming. Wow. Yeah, it definitely had a good week there, RX. Holy moly, Racer X. Wow. Yeah, that again, in the short term, we need to see it stay above that 5 and 8 moving averages. That's going to be coming down to compel the momentum here. So initial support around 820 to 745 in the short term. If it does pull back to those ranges and doesn't close below that. YOLO Apple, let's go. Let's YOLO some Apple. No, I just YOLO on weeklies. Well, you know what you're doing then, right? If you're YOLOing, you understand that then. What about ZOM asking Victor? Yeah, I heard about this one quite a bit as well. Interesting play here. We're kind of seeing some support coming around $2 to around $1.90 here. Kind of bouncing back and forth. The squeeze is setting up nicely. If we get that volume, any kind of volume zone, bullish movement coming through, we can easily see this pop up to that 240 to 260 ranges there, and really see this one go to the moon, as the kids say there. Yeah, but if we do go to the moon, we're going to be hitting that wall potentially around 260 to 280 initially before we go to the moon there. So be very mindful about that one, Victor. Looks like the Nasdaq's up nearly 0.5% now, 50 points. That's good. Very nice. Let's see. You know what that's about Disney? Disney's, I think, a great opening play. We had the CEO, no longer Bob Iger, come out on CNBC, I think, or whatever, saying that they're reopening at the end of April the Disneyland Park, which is the one in California. I think they're doing it potentially at 15% capacity. So if you're in the greater California area, good luck on trying to get into that park if only with 15% capacity. Like, that's going to be fairly insane there. Ben, thank you, my friend. Have a great evening, and I'll see you guys this week on that one. Victor, you're very welcome as well. Yeah, Disney. I still that sucker's kind of hold. It's still staying above the 21. It's below 21 now, but would like to see it kind of bounce off that the 30-40 MA or stay above 190 to 189, and really see this kind of go back up to try to test that $200 range. They're trying to break above 200 and stay above 200. Excuse me. Guru's asking for Google. Yeah, look at it. So Google. I like to use GOGL, Class A shares. So looking at this one again, very interesting kind of pattern here. We're seeing it huge run higher and kind of building a longer supported flag up here on this gap up. On the weekly chart, this looks pretty intense on this move here. So we can kind of stay above that $2,000 range in the short term. So 2,000 is basically where it kind of hit an intraday of last week. Would be pretty precise to see on how this can kind of rebound. So $2,000 and above would be pretty good. It can easily come back down to $1,975, but would like to see that potentially kind of create that bounce movement there, and really kind of see this kind of springboard off of here. Of course, being again a tech titan, they're also in the reopening market of their flagship Google. I don't know if you've heard of this product. It's called Google Search. You type in there anything, and it will give you pictures, videos, websites, anything your heart desires in the little white box or the gray box, depending on what color you have it set on. But yeah, it's very interesting stuff that can happen with the Google search, and be careful what you look for, because you could find things you don't want to find. But yeah, being a reopening play with the airline companies and so forth, I think that Google's still a really, really interesting play here. I'm actually personally selling some premium in here. So I'm selling actually the 1950s, and I bought like the 1925 or something like that, 1930s, just to collect some premium in those. The cheaper CCIV gets, the more I'm buying, though. This is a long-term play, sitting on this one for years. Yeah. So are they, again, I haven't done the most research on this one, RacerX, on their fundamental story. So they're trying to do the same model or the same premise that Tesla did as well, where they started on the very, very high end of the market, and they kind of worked their way down on building more family friendly and more budget oriented, lower class ones. Or they're just trying to be like the Rolls-Royce EV company. And that's what I don't really understand, and I really haven't seen, because if you go to their site like Lucid, they're, of course, they only have the Air, and I think they have the SUV coming out, right? Lucid Air, yeah. So it's a beautiful looking car. Don't get me wrong. It is a beautiful looking car, but it's a very expensive car too. Like, this is going to be out of reach for many, 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 many people. So I can change the exterior color. Ooh, that's nice. That's a very nice. Good looking man in a black polo next to an airplane. I don't know why it's next to an airplane. But that's cool. Next to the ocean, fantastic on the airstrip there. Some ladies walking by saying, "Ooh, look at that pretty car! It's a very nice." I don't like that color though. That's like poopy color. Ooh, I've never seen this video yet. That's really weird setup there. I don't know if I like that. You put a surfboard in there. How many people are gonna buy this card and go surfing? Please, please tell me. Please, please. I think there's gonna be less than one. People are buying this car, not going to go surfing. It's a beautiful looking car. Beautiful. I hope them the best. I really do. I really do. I really do. Um Andy, hey Ken, thanks for going for the live streams as well. Yep. I love doing the live streams, my friend. Unregular Brad, what's up, my friend? Thank you for becoming a live streamer. Everyone give him a round of applause. Thank you, Brad. Let me give you, hold on. We're gonna do the jiggly wiggly dance. Yeah. There's a doing the dance. And then we're gonna give you the old chest bump. Welcome to the club, my friend. I appreciate the support. Thank you. I like to see you guys long-term play as well. Supposedly Kramer has passenger in one. Oh, okay, cool. K Thunder, what's up, my friend? Hey, I'm late. No, don't worry. We're streaming for a little bit. Took a hit getting into SPCX. Do you think the technical you think here? Let's see here. SPCB. So let's see here. Thunder. Not really my like cup of tea here on these kind of stocks that just have these huge exponential moves higher here, and there's really this huge gap up here, and it's been a very choppy trend previous to that move here. Initially speaking, to potentially look at that $3 range potentially being a very substantial level here. Again, the stock was only up 54%, but it was up probably substantially even more into Friday due to that very aggressive move here. Yeah, a little much. It got hit quite a bit there. It got hit quite a bit, even though it had a pretty substantial move here. But we'll have to see on how it reacts for the rest of the day. I have no idea what this company does. What is the ticker's name? Supercom is based primarily engaged in providing identity solutions and security systems for governments and organizations. Throughout the world, Supercom offers secure mobile payments ranging from mobile wallets to mobile POS, point of sales. Okay. Interesting. Is this like a Kathy Woodstock? Because she has a whole fund that's completely dedicated to Israeli kind of companies. But yeah, you've seen these moves aggressively here before, these pop-ups, and then kind of comes right back down. This is coming right back down where it was, basically that 224 to 225. But yeah, not really much I can add there. I do apologize, not really able to help that much there, Thunder, on that one. Racer X they have a lot of Saudi Arabian backers. Yeah, they got a lot of capital from the Middle East, right? And they love their cars, right? I forget how many. I think it's Ferrari, right? That they sell. Again, Ferrari's only able to make X amount of cars a year, and I think like 50% of the cars go to the Middle East. They do tracking for Israelis having to be quarantined. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think Israel is a little bit more different than the United States in how they are doing the quarantine. Because again, there isn't too much privacy over there. If I can stand corrected on that, especially in Israel, what they monitor multiple lines for security reasons. Let's see here. MU again. A lot of people have talked about MU. That one's coming up towards the end of the month for earnings as well. Looks quite interesting here to kind of see again the semiconductor space. Definitely missed this one as well. Again, I wanted to that last market move that we saw in the summertime and this earnings move here again. That has been a gangbusters move for MU. Completely love it. A lot. But that's just a couple things there. VAL, ticker symbol VALE. This is one that I'm currently looking at. So this again, I'm going to share some of my ideas before we sign off here. Maybe the last like 10 minutes if people want to see what I'm looking at for the week or something like that and so forth. Not just the week, more longer terms. Again, I think most people know they don't look on a weekly basis because that can kind of skew things up. With this one again, I kind of see the chop here. We're kind of seeing it kind of bounce around here. Would like to see it stay above $17-ish, so 17 to like 16.75. I don't know where my alert went. My alert's been magically disappearing. Casper must be coming into my Thinkorswim and messing my stuff up. But looking for this one to again selling premium in this one. Nothing too crazy. I already had earnings, so the IV is not too high. But bonds up 0.67% tonight. Whoa, look out. Yeah, Val is one that I'm looking at as well. I'm still I have to go to the wheel. Let me pull up the wheel. So I still like BB, BlackBerry. I think it has a place. Honestly, I really do. I really believe it does. Yeah, I really do. I really do believe that. It has. It's not the same premise of you remember of it being the mobile phone. Again, this is completely has changed and has gone in this whole different direction. So we're gonna have to bring up the wheel here. Should be able to see the wheel now. And let's go here. Then we go to widgets, go to the wheel, and then we're gonna spin it. Spin the wheel. Let's see what happens. So we're gonna the wheel's gonna tell us what to do with hold. Okay, I gotta hold my BlackBerry position for this week. I wanted to see what I should do with Val. So Val, I have Val up on the screen here. Can't really see it. The wheel's in the way. I want to spin the wheel again. See what happens. Don't say YOLO. Hold this one as well. Okay. Holding my premium in this one. Again, I'm completely joking with the wheel for the thing here. Please do not in a movement and think that that's how I make my decisions. I do not make my decisions like that. Yeah, Racer X. A lot of people like GV Evo they have asked about that one quite a bit, a lot. Honestly, they've asked about that one quite a lot. Let me get this out of the way. Tyrone, good luck to you as well tomorrow, my friend. Thank you for stopping by. I greatly appreciate it. We'll do a couple more here, folks. What am I looking at? I actually like the setup potentially happening in Microsoft. We talked about Google, where they have a position in Google as well. But with Microsoft here, I kind of like this one kind of bouncing off somewhat around the 50 SMA here a little bit. Potentially selling some premium in this one as well, and maybe getting kind of get moving in there. Edward, dear Ken, is BB a WSB meme stock? I think so. I think it was. We can kind of look here on Where was it? Let's see here. Hold on, I found the wrong link. Let's see here. There it is. So we can go here to this site, and then we go to Wall Street Bets, and we go to ticker sentiment. BB is on there, so it is on there. It is fairly far down the rung of what they're talking about. That being said, I know I do say that. It's honestly a thing where I'm dyslexic. I'm a terrible reader, and I hate public speaking, but I enjoy doing live streams. So I kind of really repeat myself, and I only stick to a certain key phrases because I have a stuttering problem, and I stutter at times as well. So yeah. So there's only 33 mentions on WSB on Wall Street Bets about BB, and you kind of break it down on the day and so forth. So the 21st, which is today, this is the price target, the stock price, and you see on the comment volume, positive or negative sentiment. There's again a one. I don't know how exactly they give that the market moves there, but that's going to be something that we could be looking at there. Not saying this is a completely this is how you should trade kind of scenario off of this because that's a little crazy there. Yeah. Racer X, I agree 100%. I think the market does look like a crazy pump and dump, especially within the SPAC market and some of the growth stocks that had no chance of potentially surviving. You're welcome, Daniel, my friend, and have a wonderful evening, my friend, and a fantastic week as well. Ladies and gentlemen, on that note, your boy's getting tired, and if you haven't already, please check out the Discord if you want to continue this conversation. And if you haven't already, I would greatly appreciate a like and subscribe. And we'll be doing some more live streams as well during the week, potentially more videos. Again, I would love more feedback on what kind of videos that you guys would like to see so I can kind of tailor make them. If it's larger options trading videos, if you like the Wall Street Bets reaction videos or whatever, like anything new, or if it's a particular stock you want to look at that I find interesting as well, we can take a looky-loo and just kind of go from there. Guys, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Have a wonderful evening. Please have a great night's sleep and hopefully great and safe tradings for everyone next week. Again, if you have any comments or questions, please swing by the Discord and we'll try to get those questions asked for you as well. And just have a lot of fun and take it easy and make sure you have a plan before entering any kind of trades. All right, guys, this is Ken from the Dyslexia Investor, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Peace.